How's it going, everybody? Doing a console ramble here today. I figured since I got the 360 right here, I'll talk a bit about the 360. This is the slim one. And my experiences with it, I might have done a 360 console ramble at some point. I'm not sure. But as always with a lot of these consoles, no matter who's making them, Nintendo doesn't typically do it. They don't make the different version. Sony has. Xbox didn't originally on the original one. The GameCube didn't have one. The Wii didn't have one. Nintendo 64, etc. The Switch has them. Well, they did make a Switch Lite, didn't they? Wii U didn't have it, but anyway. I might actually be picking up some games today from the flea market, but I want to film a video now so I can upload it when I get back. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain from that tropical storm, and the rain just absolutely obliterates the internet here. It immediately goes out, so I need to get something up for today. I need to film another video for tomorrow. I want to keep the roll going. I've been having some great months, and you know what? I wanted to keep going, so I don't want to ruin my momentum or have the internet, the rain ruin my momentum. But 360, I got my first 360 in April of 06. I got it for yeah. Oh God. I got it for April 06 for Oblivion. This is the controller. It's a solid controller for sure. Of course you need batteries. If you didn't have the battery pack, you put batteries in the damn thing. The PS3 had, you could charge it. It was chargeable. It had its battery in it already. Even the Xbox One, you could put batteries in if you didn't have a battery, which is weird. They just go to a full battery pack. Got it for Moro, Oblivion. I remember I sold the first two Silent Hills on eBay at the time. Now, one of those two Silent Hills will sell for more than the price I sold these two for. I think I sold them both for like $90. At the time, that was huge. The movie had just come out, literally maybe like the same month or a little before, and people wanted Silent Hill. The first one still had a little bit of value. The first one would have sold like $30-40. The second one didn't have much at the time, but people were excited for the movie, so it got a little boost. Sold that, had some extra money. I'm like, I'm getting it. I got the one without the hard drive. So I had gotten a memory card as well. Because the one without the hard drive, I think, was $200. And the hard drive one was $3. Or it was 3 and 4. Maybe it was 3 and 4. I don't know. It might have been 3 and 4. Got a memory card. My first game was Oblivion, and it was awesome. Oblivion's a phenomenal game. It was worth it. I'm like, I can't wait to have this system with the new Elder Scrolls out. It's going to be the same way if Microsoft announced Elder Scrolls is finally coming out after 500 years, and it's only going to be exclusive to the Series XS. I'm going to be gonna have to buy one. I would literally just buy. Realistically, I'd buy the best one. I don't know. I know the Series S is nice, but it's not running on the same power as the Series X. I would get it for it. That's how much I love the Elder Scrolls games. I picked that up. Was mind blown by that game, and I was playing on a standard dev TV still, and it still looked great. Like, the games looked great. I did not have an HD TV until 07. I don't think I played any of my 360 stuff at first, because I had sold the 360 in 07. and got a PS3. I don't think I played any. I think I plugged it into my computer monitor once, but I didn't have the right connection, so I couldn't get sound. But I remember putting Dead Rising in there. I'm like, okay, it definitely looked like it looked. It didn't look necessarily a ton better, but it looked a lot sharper. Like the words and the life bars and stuff all looked a lot clearer. But I had a lot of fun with that 360 at first. Oblivion, Cameo Elements of Power, which I didn't complete at the time. I think I ended up trading in. I got Condemned, The Criminal Origins, which was fantastic. I've talked about that game before. It's an incredible game. Great survival horror, crime thriller game. But got that, played that. What else did I have during that time frame? Viva Pinata, I ended up getting a really cool game by Rare. It's like a simulation game with pinata animals. You gotta like lure them in by doing certain things in your garden. You build up your garden stuff. Really cool game. They ended up making a second one. This is back when Microsoft allowed Rare to make games, and then they threw them on Kinect Sports forever, and then they made Sea of Thieves. I don't think they've done much of anything since. I mean, they had a great run on the 360. They had the two Viva Pinatas, they had Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, Perfect Dark Zero, Cameo Elements of Power. It was those five, and then they started doing the Kinect stuff. But I think Microsoft kind of wasted that studio. I mean, most of those people that were there then are long gone, but disappointing for sure. But they did have a nice run on 360. Viva Pinata had Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was a solid racing game. I'm not overly into racing games outside of like the Burnouts and the F-Zeros, but I have played some Need for Speeds and enjoyed them. Racing games a lot. Almost all racing games outside of Burnout and F-Zero. I'll play like a sports game. I'll play the shit out of it for a couple of weeks and then get bored. The Burnout always excites me. You know, because I don't know the way it is. The earlier ones, you had the crash mode and stuff, and then Paradise, was more open worldy, doing random stuff. I just like the flow of it better than other racing games. And F-Zero is just classic. I love the speed and everything in F-Zero. I don't know why I've always loved F-Zeros. This is not the original model, obviously 360. I had the white one that I showed in that other pickup video, that busted one, but this is actually a nice design of the slim model. And this one's crazy because it has a ton of USB ports. It's got 3 in the front, 2 in the back. 3 in the back, 2 in the front. I should say there's 2 in there. But I don't know if that first model had the memory card units. It had at least 3 USB. I had 2 USBs in the front. I think it had 1 or 2 in the back. And it had the side things you could pop off to get the shell off, but sometimes the shell was hard to put back on. If you wanted to put like custom plates or whatever the hell on there. This design's better than the first model, I think. And of course, you have the red ring of death. Mine had gotten it when I had sold it to my friend, and like a year later, he got it. I remember like a year later, he's like, it's fucked up. I'm like, what do you want me to do, dude? You had the thing for a year. You had it for longer than I did. But a lot of those early models would have had that fatal flaw because I think Microsoft just wanted to rush that shit out. It came out a year before the PS3 and the Wii. They wanted to rush it out to get the head start. I remember you had to do the towel trick. You wrap a towel in it, overheat it, and then it would work. But it wouldn't last long. It would eventually go back to the red ring. Really ridiculous, the fact that this thing had that kind of fatal flaw in it for a major console. The PlayStation did have the yellow Light of Doom, which I'd gotten on mine, but it was not as a big a deal. It didn't happen on like 90% of the consoles or whatever it was, like 70% of the consoles. I got the yellow light. I remember I was playing Ratchet and Clank, a crack in time, and the system just froze, and then I tried to turn it back on, it was done. But yeah, Viva Pinata, Condemned, Oblivion, Cameo, I played briefly. Need for Speed Most Wanted. I had an NHL game. I don't know what it was at the time. Maybe it was 2K6, maybe. It could have been 2K7 too, because 2K7 would have come out in '06. It was one of the ones, the 2K ones. It was not. I don't think it was NHL. I think it was 2K. It wasn't like the EA one. It was the Sega one. And then I got Dead Rising. Dead Rising was, for me, like a landmark experience in a lot of ways. I was pumped for that game when it came out. That came out in, I think, August of '06 or July of '06. And that game was phenomenal. Like, holy shit. Bunch of friggin' characters, zombies on screen. Frank West is a cool character here. It was pretty much Dawn of the Dead. And they say on the cover, this is not like influenced, or George Romero has nothing to do with this. But I played that game and I was just like, yes, this is awesome. That was a phenomenal experience. Oblivion and that. And then Gears of War. When I first saw Gears of War, and this is still on a standard definition TV. 1 second. This is still on a standard definition TV. And Gears of War looked just so good. Like, Elder Scrolls Oblivion looked excellent. Dead Rising looked good, but it wasn't like... It wouldn't blow you away necessarily graphically. It looked better, much, much better than PS2 original Xbox GameCube game, but Gears of War was the game where I was like, there it is. Like, that's the graphical leap. Because that was on a standard dev TV still, and it looked so good. That's another kind of landmark game for me. I thought Gears of War was phenomenal. I really do enjoy that series. But that one, I was like, yeah. And that was what else did I pick up for that thing? I can't remember the games I had in that original run. I had probably like 4 or 5 more. And then I ended up getting the PS3. Because the PS3 had more games I was interested in on the horizon. And then I go back and forth. The PS3 died in 2010, and then I made a trade with my friend's brother. I gave him a GameCube, a bunch of games, like a GameStop gift card for like $25, some other crap. And he gave me his 360 Elite, which was not this one. It was the same one, the same design, except it was black. I think it was like the Halo one. No, the Halo one was green, I think. It was the same design as the original, but it didn't have the flaw, the red ring problem. They'd fix that. At the time, the 360s were still expensive. I had no use for the Cube. The Cube now has much more value, but I think I gave him Knights of the Old Republic, like 2 other games, I think, and I had definitely a gift card, because he wanted to get this model. I want to say this model was out at this point. So I'm pretty sure he wanted a new one, or maybe he just got another one, because the disk drive wouldn't open. He had to, like, wail on it. I was like, alright, that's kind of annoying. But I ended up opening it up, and all you had to do, I got a little knife, and all I had to do was tighten this little screw on the disk drive. Boom, worked perfectly. The problem was I couldn't get the shell on perfectly anymore. So it still worked fine, but over time it was like more of a problem, and the thing was literally like just open, and I had to pop the top of the disk tray off to put but it was fine. For a while it was fine. And this is when this was my big run with the 360. Like, I had that year run at first. I was playing Splinter Cell Conviction. He had games on the hard drive as well. Still, so that's when I played Crackdown, was on there. Phenomenal game. Love Crackdown. Crackdown 2 I did not like much. 3 I like more. The first is still the best. By quite a bit. That's when I played Fable 2 was on there. I played that and I was like, yes, this is incredible. And then I played Fable 3. I was playing a ton of games. Black Ops 2 I played on there. Ghostbusters, the game, was really cool. Like, this is when I joined GameFly for a bit too, so I was getting games through there. And trying to complete them as fast as possible so I can get a second game. Usually get about 2 games a month. If you really try to steamroll a game, you can get 2 games a month. You don't want to rent the Elder Scrolls from a GameFly because it's just going to eat up all your time. And I only had the 1 game at a time. I didn't do the 2. But that's when I was playing a ton of stuff. Dead Rising 2. Stuff like Dark Void. Like, I was playing so many games at that point, like for the 360, because a lot of them were, at that point, were cheap. Reach, ODST. Reach was not. Well, Reach I got for $30 from GameFly. I rented it from GameFly and kept it for $30. Reach, ODST, incredible. I played Halo 3 much later. I played Halo 3 like 4 years after it came out. It came out in '07, I believe. And I just Halo 3 is a fine game. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I thought it was not nearly as good as Reach or the original. I don't know, like 3, something about 3 bothered me, and I know people love 3. And 3 is still a great game, but I don't know, compared to like some of the other ones, I was just like, no. And maybe that's because I didn't play it when it came out. I'd already played Reach and stuff like that. So maybe I was like, it didn't have the impact it would have had if I played it when it came out. But I played the remaining Halos. There's a couple other games on the hard drive that I played. Lego Star Wars, the complete trilogy was on there. And Dead Space, but I had played those already. I played them again. I played them on the PS3. And the 360 actually got a lot of the games from Japan. Like, they had a run where they got like Eternal Sonata, Last Remnant, Infinite Undiscovery, Lost Dragon. Was it the Last Dragon or Lost Dragon? No, Blue Dragon, sorry. Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. They got a lot of these games from Japan that the Xbox One, I feel, didn't get. Although they've gotten, Microsoft's got more later, but usually they're just digital. But back then there was they were 99 Nights, I think was another one at the time. They were making a push to bring in as many players as possible from all over the place, because the Xbox doesn't do well in Japan. So they wanted to be like, hey man, buy it over there too. We got games. We've got a nice variety of games here. I don't know. It might be their best-selling system over there. I don't know, but so you got a lot of that, and some of those ended up making their way to the PS3 later on. I know Eternal Sonata did because I had it on the PS3. Maybe that was the only one. There's probably a few others. Last Remnant. I feel like they've put some of those out much later on. So you got a lot of variety. 360s, they're probably their best game library, because then you start getting more of the Xbox Live DLC, smaller indie titles as well. I think Xbox One has more games, but I think the selection, the quality of the game library on the 360 is probably their best. My personal favorite system is the original Xbox, but the 360 is like the peak for Microsoft in terms of their systems, even though the first rush of the models had that fatal flaw. But they had a ton of good exclusives. Alan Wake was another one I played. That was an exclusive, and then they put it out, remastered version. But at the time, their generation, great game. Another exclusive. They had games like Full Auto that was exclusive. No, Full Auto might have come to the PS3. I think their best exclusives were on the 360 because the Xbox One, I feel like, didn't have enough, in my opinion. I don't know what the Series X has in terms of straight exclusives. They have more now because they bought everybody. But I think they was reading things like Gears 5, or then not Gears 5, Gears 6 might end up coming to the PS5 because they have to. I think the gaming division of Microsoft is like bleeding money. But anyway, it's just a hell of a console. The 360 was great. I had a lot of great experiences with 360. Played a lot of phenomenal games. I'm forgetting a ton. I'm trying to think of more of their exclusives. The Crackdown Fable, all the rare stuff, Gears of War. Those are all exclusives. What else was exclusive? Some of those, like I said, some of those games from Japan were exclusive. The whole run, I think. Eternal Sonata was not. But I'm pretty sure like Lost Odyssey, Last Remnant, and stuff were. They were putting. That's the thing. They were getting those RPGs, which the original Xbox did not have. Those like kind of turn-based RPGs. They more had the Knights of the Republic type RPGs. And they got like Final Fantasy 13 and 13.2 and 13.3. So they got those Final Fantasies as well. I played Final Fantasy 13 on the 360, most of it. I gotta get that again because that was a really good game. What else did they have? I'm trying to figure out. I forgot this. I played a ton of games on the 360. Hell of a console, Outside of that first fatal flaw, like the console's good. The controller it's a nice controller. People love playing I'm annoyed because I can't remember some of the games I played on there. I played some of the downloadable stuff too, like the Hexic, which is on this one as well, and the Geometry Wars was on there. Braid. There's other games like that. Not a ton, but the Tomb Raider game, the first, the newer versions of the Tomb Raider games. I played that first one on the 360. Another incredible game. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag on there. Assassin's Creed 3. I played the first one on the PS3. I think I ended up playing it again on the 360. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 I played on the 360. I can't remember the name of it now. Revelations, the last one with Ezio. I think it was Revelations. That one I played on. So I played a lot of Assassin's Creed on there as well. Because even, like I said, even at that point, a lot of games were cheap, so. It's an incredible console. I kind of want to stop this now because I'm over 20 minutes. That's going to take forever to do it. Hell of a console with tons of games for it, like tons of great games, a lot of good exclusives. I had to mention a ton. I said Crackdown 2, Fable 2, Fable 3, a couple of Halos. I think the Halo Wars as well. You got the first Halo Wars. They had the Metro games as well. Dead Island I played on the 360. Did I play that on the 360? I might have. Yes, I did. L.A. Noire I played on the 360 because it was multiple discs. Max Payne 3 I played on the 360. That was multiple discs. More great games. GTA 5 I played on the PS3, and I played 4 on the PS3 as well. I do have a copy of 5 for the 360, but I didn't originally play it on 360. I ended up playing Skyrim first on the PS3, and then again on the 360, and then again on the Xbox One. And yeah, you had Bullet Witch and stuff. You had a lot of interesting games. I think it was called Bullet Witch. You had a lot of there was a very good variety of games. The Forza games, I think the Forza Horizon games started on the 360. The regular Forza games started on the original Xbox, I think. There was still a Project Gotham Racing or 2 on the 360. There was definitely at least one of them. I think there might have been 2. Those were exclusives. Yeah, you got Tony Hawk games. Not as many. The Tony Hawks thrived on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era, but you still got some on 360. The first Red Dead Redemption I played on the 360. Another phenomenal game. Red Dead Revolver is the first in the series, but there's no connection to. I don't think it has any connection to the 2 Red Deads. That was another mind-blowing game. You're like, holy shit, yes, this game is incredible. Oh, Rockstar Games presents table tennis. That I had on my first run with 360. Cool table tennis game. I think Rockstar made that just to be like, hey, we don't just make violent games, but they also, I think it was like their game engine. They're like, hey, check out our game engine. But yeah, that's just an Xbox 360 Ramble here. Cool system. If you want to get this model, this is the better, but the one that will work the best. And they had the port. They had the first ones had the detached hard drive, so you could take your hard drive to other people's house and stuff like that. Which is kind of cool. If you got one with a hard drive. But yeah.